Hello Multimedia Pro students. I have a tutorial for you today on our second project. What we're going to be working on is the spot healing brush tool as well as the clone stamp, both in Photoshop. So your first step is to go to my website, which is the Wilson Middle School page. Scroll down, click on my name, and you can click on Multimedia Pro. And finally, down to the first picture. So the first picture will be this girl who's got some acne. And what we're going to use is the spot healing brush tool to take care of some of that acne, try and clean it up, try and make her look the best that she can be. This is a lot of what magazine designers do when they put magazines together. So I've got the spot healing brush tool. I'm going to make my size a little bit bigger. And you can see that all you really need to do is just click and drag and let the mouse go, and it automatically cleans up those blemishes wherever you click. It actually kind of blends them into the surrounding area. Make the size a little bit smaller maybe, and I can go around and just clear up as much of her face as I can. Now, you see I made a mistake there. If I press Ctrl Z, I can redo that action and try and fix what I've created. So you guys can take more time on this than I am, but just do your best to clean up the blemishes, little spots on her face. And that's all that you need to do. Make sure you save that in Grieve Completed Projects, Project 2. The second project I'll have you do involves some kids playing baseball. So it's the second picture. Again, you can just drag that into your Photoshop window, and I'll hold the Alt button and zoom in. And what you see here is we've got two boys playing baseball, and maybe this girl down here, I don't know, maybe she's from a different family or we don't want her in the picture for some reason. So we're going to use the clone stamp to go ahead and take her out of the picture. Now you can see I do not want to use my brush at this size. I'll make it probably half the size, around 25, and we'll go from there. The clone stamp copies from one area and pastes to another, all in real time. All automatically. So what we can do is we hold the Alt key on the keyboard, and wherever you want to copy from, you just click once and then you let the Alt key go. Then you go to the area that you want to cover up or get rid of, and you just hold the mouse button down, click and drag, and you can see the little X on the far side. That's where it copies from. Now I'm going to get too low here, so I'll stop and I'm going to copy again, and then I'll keep going. I'll start again, and you can see that we're going to fairly seamlessly remove that girl from the picture. Now you can see I've messed the bottom up here. I've kind of got some green down on the edge. So what I'm going to do is stop and just hold the Alt key, maybe go right on the white edge between the grass and the white, and I'm going to just paste that exactly where I made the mess. You can see you wouldn't even know that girl was in the picture. That's the second part of this project. Make sure you save that in Project 2 Completed Projects. The third one will be a boy blowing bubbles. So you can drag that picture into Photoshop. You can see here a really nice picture. And what I want you to do, is to take this one bubble and make it like 10 or 15 bubbles. So again, with the clone stamp, you hold the Alt button and you click once. And then you're just going to click and drag tiny little circles, and you'll see that new bubbles appear. Every time you want to make a new bubble, it's a good idea to go back and hold Alt and click on that original one. You can see it looks pretty realistic. Maybe I'll put one more up here. Okay, I want you guys to do 10 of these. I'm only going to do 5 for the sake of time. The second thing I want you to do on this project is to copy the vehicle at the top. So what we need to do is use our clone stamp to copy as much of that vehicle as we can. I want you to try and put it right in front, like it's parked on the street. So I'll hold the Alt button. I'm going to use a little trick. I'm going to use where the gray border hits the top of the vehicle as a reference point. I'm going to start my project there. And I'm going to also, when I paste it, make sure that lines up. I'll click and I'll just start dragging. The front of the vehicle is going to be fairly easy because there's not much to it. The back of the vehicle, a little bit trickier because you're going to start running into the boy's hair. The trick with that is to simply copy the front wheel of the back vehicle onto the back wheel of the front vehicle, if that makes any sense. You can do something like that, and it makes a pretty decent image if you looked at this quickly. Make sure you save that as well. All right. Finally, I have one more project. This one's going to be fairly difficult. You can go back to my webpage and scroll down. I've got a picture of a boat here. I'm gonna drag it in. It's a dragon boat. You can see there are 2, 4, 6, 8 people on it. We're gonna have some fun with this picture. We're gonna see if we can make maybe 14 or 16 people on this boat and make it look like that's actually how it is. So the first thing we need to do is clean this picture up. You can see in the top right corner I've got a boat. In the bottom right corner I've got a ripped piece of paper. It must have been scanned in. So I'm gonna make my clone stamp a little bit bigger, maybe around 120, and I'll hold the Alt button and I can just start cleaning up the areas that I want to. So there you go, that gets rid of the boat. I'm gonna leave that wake there. I think it makes a nice texture on the water. It makes it look realistic. On the bottom, I'll hold Alt and we're going to kind of select the proper height and go from there. You can see that if I take some time and do this really nicely, you wouldn't even know that there was a corner ripped off of this picture. The next thing that I need to do, if I want to extend this boat, I've got to make more room to do that. So you can see I've got my background color set as white. And what I'm going to do is go to Image and Canvas Size. I'm going to anchor the left side of the image. I'm going to change that to 18 inches and make sure that you're on inches, not centimeters, not pixels. I want 18 inches anchored on the left. Press OK. And you can see what we've done there if I scroll out is that I've actually extended this image. So now we'll take some time with our clone stamp and we will start to make the best out of the water down here. I'm going to start right at the bottom. There we go. And I'm just going to make as much as I can. You have to be really careful that you don't copy the boat or the shadow of the people in the boat, which I've accidentally just done there. Now I think that'll be okay. I'm going to try this once more. I'm going to hold Alt and click, and down at the bottom of the image I'll fix that. There we go. And I'll come back up here and clean the mess up that I made. You can see it's going to add some texture. Maybe what I'll do is I'll carry that wake on sideways. I'll do it again. There we go. There we are. And fairly seamless transition. Whoops, Control Z. For the new boat to be on. What we're going to do next is use our clone stamp to extend this boat a long ways. I'm going to just hold the Alt button, but first I'll make the size a little bit smaller, maybe around 50 or 60. Okay, hold Alt. I'm going to start with this person, kind of the third one back in the blue. I'm going to try and paste her in so it looks like she's just a natural part of this boat. I'll click and drag and hold. You can see here that I'm extending this boat, copying not only the people but also their shadows. It looks pretty realistic. It looks like we have an immensely long dragon boat, which we don't really, but it does look that way. And I'll go ahead and stop there. So I made that look fairly easy because I've done this one a few times. If you have to start over, go ahead and do that. I'll give you lots of class time. Good luck. I hope this tutorial helps your project.